What is going on, everyone? Parsnip here, and today we are back at my export world and on my winter build. So you can probably already guess that we are going to talk about the Christmas event in Terraria. Here I'll go ahead and cover pretty much everything you need to know about the event, like the mobs all the way to the loot you can get. But for starters, just in case you're pretty new to Terraria, the Christmas event starts on the 15th of December for PC players, and if I'm not mistaken, on December 1 for mobile users. Now, worry not, you don't really have to do anything for it to start, just wait for December 15th, and in case you are watching this after Christmas, or maybe you're not here for the event during your holidays, you can simply activate the Christmas event manually by setting your computer's date to a day between December 15th and the 31st. Now, this works pretty much for any event in Terraria that's on a specific date, like the Halloween event. Now, with the when and how to start the Christmas event, let's go ahead and talk about the changes. The first thing you might notice will either be the drops or the cute Christmas creators you see, but let's start off with the creatures. Now, not much changes from the usual, but you will see Santa bunnies and present slimes. Now, the big difference besides the visual aspect that you'll see, like the ribbons and the Santa outfit on the bunny, is that the slimes can drop the giant bow, which is a vanity item that has a 5% chance to drop from these new creatures. So let's go ahead and talk about the drops. So we have the candy cane, an item that actually replaces the hearts, the sugar plum, which replaces mana stars, and lastly the most important item in the event, which is the presents. Now, I won't talk about every single item, but I will show you the drops in the background just so you guys could see. Now, these vary from weapons and outfits to decorations and blocks, but what I really want to highlight here is the snow globe, which is not actually a decoration or a useless item, but instead a summoning item that drops only in hard mode. In particular, the snow globe summons the Frost Legion, which is the main thing you want to do during the Christmas event, but we'll get into that in a bit. First, let me highlight some other items from the presents first. Now, please note these items are pre-hard mode and are not actually that good. So first thing I wanted to talk about is the dog whistle, the rarest item that you can get from the present. And what it does is it summons a puppy or a pet. And though it doesn't actually do anything, it's pretty cool to have a pet following you around. Next up, we could go ahead and talk about the toolbox, an item that's great for builders. The toolbox increases placements in tool ranges by 1 and has a 0.31% chance to drop from presents. Now, this is not that high of a difference from the previous drop, but it is the second rarest drop that you can get from the presents. So the last thing I wanted to highlight here from the presents, and that is one of my favorite items from this event, and that is the unique tree outfit. With this on, not only will you impress the ladies, because clearly they'll be into this, you'll spread the Christmas spirit just by walking around. By far my favorite vanity item from the holiday events. So we can finally talk about the Frost Legion. Like I mentioned before, the Frost Legion is a hard mode event that started by using the snow globe. So the event is much like the Goblin Invasion, where a bunch of snowmen spawn and swarm the player's spawn point. One of the rewards for this event is the Santa Claus NPC, which sells a lot of items that you can see here in the background. Now, these items pretty much are tree decorations, however he also does sell a vanity set that is the Santa outfit. Now, much like other mobs, so far the snowmen, they don't actually drop anything really useful besides the snow blocks and banners. In fact, that's all they drop. So if you do want to spawn the event to farm, all you'll get is snow blocks and banners from the snowman. Now lastly, we have the Noddy Present. Though you don't really need to be in Christmas for this event, I decided to talk a bit about it, just in case you were wondering where some Christmas themed items or monsters are from. However, since you can do this whenever you want and it is pretty big and has a lot of items, I'll keep it fast and short. So all you need to make the Noddy Present is to be near a mithril anvil with the following ingredients: 20 silk, 5 ectoplasm, and 5 souls of fright. Once you craft it, you can do the Frost Moon event. Please note that it can only be used at night and you cannot use it during the Blood Moon. Now, this event is much like the Pumpkin Moon for those of you that were playing since Halloween, but it is actually more difficult, so make sure you're prepared for it. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the creatures and mini bosses that spawn, as well as some of the loot. Now this will be here in the background just for you guys to see, and again, as I want to do this pretty quickly so the video is not over 20 minutes long, I'll just go ahead and highlight my top 3 favorite items from the Frost Moon event. Now this does not mean these are the best items, but merely items I really like. So for those who don't know, a lot of these items are actually pretty good, and I highly recommend getting all of them just because of how good they actually are. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the Razor Pine. Now this item has a 5.19% all the way to a 7.78% chance to drop from Everscreen. Now I know this is a really weird number, but it's not that rare of a drop. Now the boss Everscream is actually the big tree. The reason I like this item is because of how fun it is. Now it rapid fires pine needles projectiles at high speed and velocity. It also dramatically turns when you shoot it upwards or straightwards because of gravity. Now it's a lot like a chain gun but on steroids. Plus it has a bonus that it also pierces multiple enemies. Next up, we have the chain gun. Now this is a very non-reliable gun as it does fire pretty randomly and not accurate at all. However, this can be fixed pretty easily by using the chlorophyte bullets like you can see here, because the chlorophyte bullets do home in on targets, so it doesn't matter how bad your gun shoots. Now this gun is even less rare to drop. In fact, it has a 8.33 chance all the way to a 12.5% chance to drop from the Santa SK1. Now this is the big mechanical Santa that you'll see during the Frost Moon event. It also has the great feature of a 50% chance of not consuming bullets. And lastly guys, we have my favorite item from this event, which is the Christmas tree sword. Because Christmas is up and coming, what better way would it be to express yourself than shooting ornaments out of a Christmas tree while swinging it around? So this sword does fire ornaments as projectiles, and these projectiles actually do as much damage as the sword itself. However, the ornaments are affected by gravity, as you can see here in the background. So that's pretty much everything you guys need to know about the Christmas event. If I missed something or said something that's not correct, or even if you have any questions, be sure to leave them at the comment section below, and I'll reply as fast as I can. So I hope each and every single one of you have an amazing and spectacular Christmas, even if you don't celebrate it. And as always guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.